All right, guys. So I'm going to do a special episode and I'm going to give 3 secrets on how you can make your first $100,000 if you have not made it yet. These 3 secrets apply to making your first million too. But if you still haven't made your first 100,000, that's the first step, getting to that first 100,000. And I don't mean making $100,000 in a year or having a job that pays you $100,000. I mean having $100,000 in your bank, cash, liquid, ready to buy a property or whatever the hell may be. Big difference, because a lot of us make big money, make 6 figures, but we don't have that money in the bank. And if you don't have it in the bank and they're not tied to assets that are giving you cash flow, then guess what? It doesn't matter that you make 6 figures a month or a year because you don't have that money. You don't know how to keep that money. And that's the most important part. The number one step to building wealth is having a high income. Number 2 is knowing how to multiply that income and building wealth and buying assets that give you cash flow. So this episode is going to be very important for you guys. It's going to help you guys a lot. And it's what got me to this level. These little 3 steps, and they might sound basic at times, but they're going to help you. Number 1, find something A, that you're passionate about, and B, that you're really good at. So do a self-analysis. I did it myself, and I consider myself, and as a matter of fact, I know I'm a great closer. I know I like to negotiate. I know I like to win. I know I'm very competitive. So with that in mind, what was a good area for me to work on or build a business on? And real estate was it, because that's all you do in real estate. You're closing deals, you're negotiating deals, you're analyzing deals, and you're competing to win in your brokerage. And if you own your own business, now you're competing against other brokerages so you could beat their team. I mean, that's the name of the game. Business is a competition. Life is a competition. So with that said, I got into real estate. I started wholesaling real estate, which to this day I still do, and I run my business doing that. But at the time, I started in a brokerage, and I learned everything from A to Z in 3 months. Within 3 months, I got my first deal. Within 6 months after that, I became one of the number 1 disposition agents in the company. And I was obsessed. I was obsessed, to say the least. I was obsessed on how to analyze deals, how to get sellers, and I became laser focused on the outcome of just making money, getting out of debt, and making my first $100,000. So step A is having the goal in mind of making $100,000, breaking it into pieces, and figuring out how you're going to get there based on your skill set. We all are better at things than others. Just like I'm a closer, that doesn't mean I'm the best person I'm not the greatest at following up on leads. I got to work on that. But I lean on what I'm good at. And at the time I was selling deals. And this job was perfect because what it was is you start building a relationship with an investor, right? From there, you cultivate that relationship. So when a deal does come out, you have him in your back pocket ready to sell the deal, which in that case, it's closing the deal. And I was good at. So I leaned on what I was good at. And I started making money in real estate, which helped me a lot because that money that I made in real estate started flourishing and putting my AF Sports business page out there. Why? Because the money I was making in real estate, I was putting it into my AF Sports business on ads. I was paying for ads at the time, and it was great. It was working extremely well. And I was using that money to put it into AF Sports. So along with me knowing that I was a good closer, knowing that I'm competitive, I've always been huge into sports. I've always known players, known games. I've been following sports and watching sports for the past 15 years. Basketball, football, soccer, baseball, you name it. And at a very early age, I started betting. I started looking into odds. I started reading books on odds, on traders, and I got obsessed with that too. I'm very obsessed in finding ways to make money and to find ways to make money that most don't do. I like to stand out. I'm that type of person. I like to figure out things that others don't and do that and multiply that. That's my passion. I like doing that, right? That's why eventually down the line, I want to own a fund and get into businesses, buy businesses, fix them up, and then sell them, and then go on with my way. But with that said, I was good at sports. I started investing in my page, which started growing as well. So next thing you know, I'm a wholesaler making money wholesaling, but at the same time, now my AF Sports business page is trying to make me money. Now I have 2 sources of income, but I didn't go beyond that. For the next 4 years, I doubled down on those 2 things, wholesaling and my sports betting page. I made my first 100,000 within the 2 years, but after that, I got to the million pretty fast. I got into the million mark 2 years after I hit my first $100,000. And through both those businesses, sure, one took more of a primary position and took more priority over the other one, but it was two money-making machines. And once I started mastering my sports betting page, building a team and all of that, then I started getting into fixing and flipping and building other businesses. So with that said, number one, find what you're good at, analyze yourself and double down on that. If it's closing, get into something that you can close. If you're good at that and you find yourself liking that, it's very important that you like what you're doing to make money, because that gives you more belief. And when you have belief, the energy is contagious and anybody can tell. Anybody and everyone, right? Number two, after number one being doing what you do best and doubling down on that. Number two, I harp on it a lot, and it's consistency and discipline. And it's more consistency now with the workout or the daily routines. It's more consistency in staying in your lane when things start going bad. Things are going to get bad whether you want it or not. That's the name of the game. You have to fail and things have to go bad in order for you to realize that it was a mistake and you can improve upon your mistake, right? So it's very important for you to stay consistent in that one lane. Do it for 3-4 years. See it long term, and I promise you, you're going to get out of it making a lot of money. But what I see a lot of people doing nowadays is they want to jump into different areas. And they've any opportunity that comes up that may seem like a great opportunity to make money, they jump on it. They don't even think, they jump on it. And they don't realize that it's going to affect their current business and their current growth rate, because you're jumping and putting focus and attention into another business. You get what I'm saying? So staying consistent and being disciplined in what you're doing and not dwindling to the right, to the left because opportunities are coming to you is more important than anything, especially as you start growing. I can tell you right now, opportunities start coming to you so much faster when you're doing well and people perceive that you're doing well and people see you doing big things. Now they want to partner with you. People that haven't spoken to me in probably like 5-10 years, all of a sudden are reaching out to me, asking for questions, inquiring about this, partnering up about this, and the opportunities are there. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying the opportunities increase. So it's even more important for you to be consistent and stay disciplined and build that from an early stage. So later on, when you're really successful, you still stay in your lane. And come on, guys, consistency and discipline is the name of the game for everything, relationships, working out, business, you name it. So implement it in this too. Most of us have money goals because money is very important in today's day. You need money to live comfortably, to give. We all want to give. We all want to take care of our loved ones. Well, you need to make money. So make this a priority as well and stay consistent and disciplined with the money you make and your goals. Let's recap. Number one, find what you're good at. Analyze yourself. There's tests out there online that'll help you decide and determine what you're really good at based on your answers. So what are you good at? Double down on that and make sure you enjoy doing it. If you don't enjoy doing it, then it's a waste of time. Make sure you enjoy doing it. Number two, stay consistent and have discipline through it. I've been consistent with my AF Sports page for the past 7 years. My real estate business has been consistent over the past 7 years. I'm not jumping from opportunity to opportunity. Do I add something on if I see it's something that's going to help my businesses? Yes, if it makes sense. I'm not jumping out of my business to get into another business and leaving businesses behind. I'm trying to improve upon my businesses, consistency, discipline, and I double down on what I'm best at. Does that make sense? These are the things that will get you to your first 100K or to your first million. Cool. Number three, you got to know how to market. You have to know how to market yourself, market your business, market. Marketing is everything. How do you market? Nowadays, there's a variety of ways to market. It depends on what industry you're in. There's ads, there's newspapers ads, there's radio ads, there's TV ads. The list goes on. So you got to become a great marketer. And by a great marketer, I don't mean you got to have ads going on, because that's what most people correlate marketing nowadays with, ads. And in reality, it goes beyond that. It goes with your product, your service, your copy, your images, how you present yourself, how people perceive you, how you handle yourself in meetings. Those are all little marketing tactics. How your brand is perceived. And yes, ads too. But you got to become really good at marketing, and you got to know how to get attention. I went over this a couple of weeks back in one of my episodes, how the news, their main job is to get your attention, whether it's in a good way or a bad way. And I don't judge that, because most of us are doing that nowadays too. Through Instagram, if you have a social media following or you're trying to grow it, what do you need to do? You need to grab fucking attention. How do you grab attention? By either being extremely in the fearful side, because that's what's going to grab people's attention, or motivating people, or just doing something that stands out. But attention is the name of the game, and everybody's fighting for it right now in the social media space and everywhere, right? So you got to know what helps you stand out, what makes you stand out, what makes your company or yourself stand out, and market that well. There's a book I really recommend, which I have right here, that's really helpful. It's called All Marketers Tell Stories. All Marketers Tell Stories by Seth Godin. I've read this book 4 times probably, and I have 3 of his books, and I highly recommend it because it teaches you these little things that marketers think about that the average Joe does not think about. And let's be real, you might not be the best marketer, and you're saying, hey man, like, I'm not the best, I should hire someone to do this for me. If you have the capacity to pay for a marketer, then go ahead and do that. But when you're starting off and you're in your journey to making your first $100,000, you're going to have to learn how to do a lot of these things yourself and train people to do this so they help you do it while you make enough money later on so you could just pay somebody to do it. So I'll recap them. 3 simple steps to making your first 100,000 or making your first million. It's a variety of ways to do this, but the rules pretty much stay the same because I've implemented them in my life. And I know a lot of mentors that have implemented them into their lives as well. Number 1, double down on what you're good at. Self-analyze. Be self-aware. Know what you're good at. Know what you're not good at. I'm not good at being all lovey-dovey, but I'm good at taking action and committing to something. Cool. So I know that. You got to know yourself, and you can't BS yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. And if you think you're going to lie to yourself, ask your loved one, your girlfriend, your mom, what you're good at, because they won't lie to you. And if you think they're going to lie to you, then find somebody that'll shoot you straight and get the weakness, your weak spots, and double down on what your strengths are. Cool. 2, stay consistent. Stay consistent in your journey till you hit your 100,000. Please, please, please. This is as important as it gets. Consistency and discipline. That's how you get there. You think Apple would be around had Steve Jobs given up on getting Apple back? You know what I'm saying? You think Jeff Bezos and Amazon would be in the position they are today had they given up in 2000 when things were going south and they almost lost their company? No, they stayed consistent to their vision, consistent to their discipline, consistent to consistency. So, yes, doubling down on what you're good at, staying consistent, staying disciplined. And number 3, if you have these 2 in front of you, good marketing. Good marketing. I'm sure you have a good product because if you're selling something, it has to be a good product. So knowing how to market this, knowing how to get attention out there in today's day is key to success in any business and key to making your first $100,000 or taking you from 100,000 to $1 million. Cool, guys. I hope you guys learned a lot. This is honestly one of my favorite episodes, and I think I'm going to do more of these, just little tips on how to help you guys. As you guys know, I don't run ads on this show, nor do I plan on running ads on this show because I find them fucking annoying when I'm listening to Ed Mylett's podcast and every 15 minutes there's an episode cut because of a fucking commercial. So I don't do that. So my growth is purely based out of Instagram, me sharing it, or word of mouth, you guys sharing it. So I share it every day. If you do enjoy it, please share the show. That's the way I grow it, only if I provided some value for you guys, because that's how value exchange works. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.